गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. This mantra is a very popular chant. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritaat. Some people are saying it in the wrong tune. अलग वाइब्रेशन हो जाता है उसका. वो कौन है वो जो टी सीरीज पे गाती है, अनुराधा पौडवाल, वो उसका ट्यून है. दिस इज द शास्त्रिक ट्यून. सो दिस वॉज गिवन बाय मार्कंडेय ऋषि, महामृत्युंजय मंत्र. एंड बिकॉज मार्कंडेय ऋषि when he was born as a prasad to his parents, the rishi who gave them the Ashirwad, he said, you want a child with a long life with less brains, or you want a child with a short life with very intelligent. So they asked for a child with brains and short life, and he was supposed to live only for 16 years. And when the parents, and they had the child at a very late stage in their life, and when they were dying, they told their child, beta, you have got only 16 years. 16 years you are going to, the Yamaraj will come and take your life. So Markandeya Rishi, throughout his life of 16 years, or after the parents passed away, kept contemplating on winning over death. Winning over death. And he tried everything. And his Ishta Devata was Lord Shiva. And he prayed to Lord Shiva. And as he was chanting his mantra, one day the Lord Shiva came and gave him this mantra, and he said, you have got greater work to do. And he became, even today he is there, Markandeya Rishi. Similarly, there was one more person. You know who defied death? Hanumanji. But Hanumanji was Chiranjeevi from birth. Adi Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya also was supposed to live only for 16 years. And when his 16th year came, he went to Badrinath and he sat down there and he was doing the japa of Om and ready to leave his body and be disidentified from the body. And whose place is Badrinath? Maharshi Ved Vyas. His gufa is there, you forgot. So Ved Vyas ji came and he saw this Tejasvi, bright, brilliant young boy sitting and ready to drop his body. And he said, son, he disturbed him. He said, son, what are you doing here? He says, my life is only till 16. I am preparing for death. And Maharishi Vedya said, go, I give you another 16 years. Till now, for 16 years, you lived for yourself. The next 16 years, you live for the humanity. And in those 16 years, whatever compositions you see of Adi Shankaracharya, all was done in 16 years. He traveled 9 times from Kailash to Kanyakumari, 9 times. He established all the Sharda Peetham in Kashmir, to Tirupati in our Andhra Pradesh, to so many different temples. And he established reignited the Sanatan Dharma, and to protect the sannyasis, he established the system of the Nagas, he established the Mahamandaleshwaras, and all this he did in 16 years. He defeated Mandana Mishra, He made him also into his disciple, and he became Sureshwaracharya as the disciple of, as the Shankaracharya of Sringeri. So like this, there are many others also. One person I met, that was the first Mahatma I met in my life. You have heard, how many of you have read autobiography of a yogi? Yeah? You have heard of Babaji? Mahavatar Babaji? That Mahavatar Babaji manifested, you can YouTube it afterwards, as Haida Khan Baba. Haida. Naam suna hai?
Yeah.
Haida Khan Baba. And where I was working, we were on strike. I was only 19 years old. So my boss said, I'm getting married there, it's in the hills, come. मैं पहुंच गया वहाँ पे, मुझे को तो कुछ पता नहीं. I just know that he has a guru. वहाँ पहुंच गए. And वहाँ पहुंच क्या गए. There are two routes to that place. One is by road, which is 20 kilometers, and there is route by the valley, meaning you're walking through the river and crossing the river many times along the riverbed, and that is only 14 kilometers. And we were on strike, not much money, so हमने कहा river road लेंगे, just me and my friend. And we started. When we started, the first time we crossed the river, it was ankle deep. By the time we reached the ashram, the water was above our head. And अपना बैग पकड़ के यूँ करके क्रॉस किया. उस दिन हो गई मेरे को बुखार लग गया, कपड़े गीले हो गए पूरे. And someone went and told Babaji, Haida Khan Baba, that this boy has come and he will die if he remains like this. He says, what? I didn't call him. Ask him to go across the river again. There are Naga Babas there, they will take care. So again, somehow I got up, and me and my friend, he was also cold. We crossed the river again, went to the other side, Naga Babas were there. एंड वहाँ क्या चाहिए, बाबा ने भेजा है, ठीक करो. अच्छा ठीक करना है. दे पुट द फायर सो दैट द क्लोथ्स ड्राई, एंड वेरी सून दे टुक आउट अ चिलम यू नो. अच्छा मतलब सबने ट्राई किया हुआ है. चिलम इज दैट pot. But so this had not one spout, not two spout, 7 spouts. And from one point you दबाओ, और उसके अंदर पता नहीं उसने क्या डाला. And he lighted it. And I seen people जो पाइप पीते ही है गोरे लोग, तो ये तो अलग टाइप का है. मैं उसको देख रहा था how he is taking it. कहता है पूरा अंदर खींच ले, सारी ठंड चली जाएगी. So 3 of them were there. They did 3 times. Good student. I learned very quickly. When my turn came, I took. By that time, I forgot to breathe it out. For 2 days, I was gone. 2 days. Then when I woke up, then these sadhus came. तेरे को क्या ठीक किया? We had to carry you 200 steps up the ashram and cross the river. So that Baba, he manifested for 17 years. Mahavatar Baba, as Haida Khan Baba, manifested for only 17 years. He was found in a cave. I meditated in that cave after he passed away, or took samadhi. He took Jal Samadhi. In 17 years, he aged 50 years. He was found 17-year-old. In 17 years, he aged 50 years. And there, क्या कहते हैं, that such things happen. So Markandeya Rishi was blessed. He got Lord's darshan. He is a Chiranjeevi also. He does not die till the cycle of the creation, because when Parvati was again born, Sati was again born as Parvati, who helped her? Markandeya Rishi. So this Markandeya Rishi, from him we get this Mrityunjay mantra, Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyam Amratahat. What does it mean? It is as we said, it is to conquer death. And conquering death means what? So, one is, we know it is a Lord Shiva's mantra and it is describing Lord Shiva, but yet you have to apply it subjectively. You have to discover that Lord Shiva within. So, the first mantra that is a part of this Trayambakam Yajamahe mantra is Om. What does Om mean? What do you know about Om? Primordial sound. What else? A. So, not A. Your Kannada? Telugu. Also problem, same problem. U, and Ma. See, Om is the only syllable in the creation which is unstruck sound. It is continuously going on. If you close your ears, you will hear that sound. Not only the end part of the Om, continuously without a break it is going on. And out of this, the vowels have come. Out of the vowels, when vowels are natural sounds, isn't it, in English also? So what are Hindi or Devanagari vowels? A, I, U, Ru, Ru, E, I, O, Aha. These are the natural sounds of creation, in creation. When, like a small child is born, first sound he makes is अपने आप ही शुरू हो जाता है. मरते समय आटा अपने आप ही बंद. तो उसके पहले हमको रियलाइज करना है. तो when these natural sounds, घर्षणा होती है, when they, because there are different sounds in this creation, natural sounds, when they are in friction with each other or they bang against each other, then consonants are created. And all consonants are a result of these. Then these consonants strike against each other, then later consonants are born. So for example, what are the consonants? I am not going to go through the whole Varnamala. K, K, G, G, Ng, Ch, Ch, J, J, Y, isn't it? So now with every K is created. What is K? K means Kal. K means space. G means Gati. G means Gharshana. And like this, every alphabet is an aspect of this creation and the various aspects, what you see, the variety that is born through. Then the consonants and vowels combine together to form words. For example, Sanjana, that's one word. Swami is one word. Sudesh is one word. Shilpa is one word. So each word has a meaning. Then these words combine together to form shlokas or mantras. And then these mantras become a way to invoke a deity or a god, for example, or they become a purifying instrument for a seeker to chant, not remember, chant, and purify themselves through the gross, subtle and causal states and go beyond. And here it says, next word is Trayambakam, and that Om is Lord Shiva. And how he looks like when we give him a form, how he is Trayambakam, he is the three-eyed one. What is the what are the two eyes? To see, correct? To see the world. And what is the third eye for? To kill. Correct. ये हुई ना बात. To kill. To kill what? No, ego cannot be killed. जो है ही नहीं तो उसको तुम मारोगे कैसे? You understand? Ego is not there, so it cannot be killed.
Attachment.
Yes, attachment. To kill, very simply put, to kill multiplicity. So when the eye of wisdom opens up, the multiplicity stops having an impact on your mind. A very stark example of it, which you go through every day, is when you think of sleep, all multiplicity, variety of this world just recedes from your mind, isn't it? Exactly the same way here, Trambakam, when the third eye, the eye of wisdom opens up, then such a person in initial stages, as this is happening, intuition clicks in, you are able to get some siddhis, etc., etc. But eventually, all this, as our dreamer spoke, Sapna, no? Dreamer, that it burns away everything. It burns away the manifest as well as the unmanifest to take you beyond, or you establish yourself in the three-eyed one. Trambakam yajamahe. Yajamahe means when you pray, when you serve, when you do the bhajan of that three-eyed one. So what text we are doing, Sanat Sujatiya, whatever questions Dhritarashtra is asking are also pertaining to this third eye only, third eye one, the eye of wisdom only. He also wants to know what is the eternal truth. He's calling it silence, he's calling it, hello, aajo, baitho, come baitho. So he is pertaining to the same truth. Yahan pe baitho. Yajamahe. So continuously pray, continuously focus, continuously remember that we have a higher faculty lurking within us which has not been invoked, and that is the third eye. That third eye only opens up when you stop yourself from getting lost in, tell me what? In opposites, in duality. And what is duality? Heat, cold, hunger, thirst, name, fame, praise, insult, likes, dislikes, joys, sorrows, inside, outside, me versus you. When we go beyond all this, then the third eye opens up. Then what? How do you? I can't. This keeps coming. These thoughts keep coming in my mind. What do? Don't react. Shivji doesn't react. He is always in poise. You remain in poise. Not as a stone. Not as Shilpa. Not as stone. Shilpa means stone. Okay, stone बोलते हैं शिल्प. Structure. Not inert structure. We want conscious structure. So remain equanimous. साक्षी बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में, साक्षी बने रहो. Equanimous meaning what Buddhists call as mindfulness. So remain in the center, remain in the poise. Laugh that you don't lose yourself. Cry, don't lose yourself. Remain in the center. Then slowly, the integrity will happen and the third eye will open. Yajamahe. Then what will happen? Once we pray to the three-eyed one and invoke the third eye within, the rule is very simple. पिछली क्लास में भी मैंने बताया था, a teenager looking at Michael Jackson learns to moonwalk. If you keep looking at the third eye of the Lord Shiva in your mind or in the picture or wherever, that quality of his will start getting invoked in you. Osmosis. It happens. Anything. How do children start? People say, "Arey, you are behaving exactly like your mother or father." Whole day they are only thinking about being around them. Their habits get transferred to the children. Sugandhim. When the third eye opens, when the eye of wisdom opens up, there is natural fragrance around. When the bud opens up into a flower, he does not do anything. People say there is beautiful fragrance. They get nourished by the fragrance. But what do? They pluck it and put it in the vase in the house. Yahan pe people start getting attracted. The bees start coming to take the nectar. Exactly that is when a saint is born. People start going after saints and sages. They want to be near Mahatmas, they want to be in their company. Why? Sugandhim. Sugandhim is fragrance. And when the breeze comes, automatically the fragrance spreads far and wide. It takes it. We don't have to do YouTube to let people know that, I am giving a lecture here. And hire advertising agencies to advertise ourselves to increase our reach. That is stupidity. True Mahatma, he just works on himself. He comes to when his eye of wisdom is open, slowly this impact of the spread of his fragrance keeps increasing. People start talking, look at Sai Baba, look at Gajanan Maharaj, look at our Gondavlekar Maharaj, look at Shankaracharya, look at our Mirabai, look at our Tulsidas. How many people were against? But look at his name today. Look at all their names today. People get so much benefit even if they are not there. Jnaneshwar Maharaj, see, that is a saint. His fragrance is still going on. Sugandhim. And what does it do? Pushti Vardhanam. Pushti means it nourishes you. When you are in presence of a Mahatma, it is nourishing. You feel complete. Your mind becomes calm. You also click into what he is experiencing for a glimpse maybe. And that once you have tasted that, you want it more and more and more and more. Then you ask, when you are in his presence or her presence, you can experience it. But now, when you are away, it goes away. Then question comes, how do I remain in this frame of mind all the time, even when the Mahatma is not there? Then your journey begins. Then your sadhana begins. And be empty, just keep seeking that I want to know. The right text will come, the right teacher will come, the right experiences will come to prompt you to go in that direction. Trust the process of nature. Be in tune with nature. Remain integrated. Remain in the center. Live a life of self-control. That is coming in the next lecture here. Those 12 qualities. See? And that is nourishment. Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. You become available to a possibility that you are also perfect. अभी तो यही लगता है कि हम imperfect हैं, है ना? That I was born and I'm going to die, that I got these shortcomings, etc., etc. But here, when the mind quietens, and this will happen when you go to Kailash, as you are approaching it, mind will become quiet. That time, do not allow even an iota of doubt that you are imperfect. Do not allow even an iota of suspicion to erupt in your mind that I don't think I can do it. You will do what is required to be done. He will make it happen. If it is going only to Dirapik, if it is only to stay at the Darchen, if it is to go through the whole parikrama, so be it. Jo kuch hoga. But do not lose your poise. If it is your half pay and some mishap happens and you have to return, remain in the poise. Here I lost my opportunity and whole 3 days till we come back, you are complaining and depressed. God, opportunity lost. सामने कैलाश बैठे और तुम रो रहे हो? No, don't do that. Pushti Vardhanam, in presence of Kailash, when the mind becomes quiet, naturally, that time only inculcate good thoughts. Keep chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Keep chanting Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. Or keep chanting any mantra that you are used to. So Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. This is immortality. This is freedom. Remaining in the center, remaining in the poise, remaining unfettered by whatever the world is presenting to us at any given moment. That itself is freedom. And this is given by an example in the mantra Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshi amamritaat. Urva is like a cucumber or a pumpkin or all those vegetables or fruits which are grown on a vine. Imagine a pumpkin growing on a tree and you are passing under the tree and it becomes ripe at that moment when you are passing underneath it and it falls. क्या होगा हाल? एक चीकू गिरता है या एक एप्पल गिरता है तो कुछ नहीं होता, पंपकिन गिरेगा तो. But when with all these fruits, if you want it, how does it? It either drops away or people pluck it, isn't it? Yes, it may come off very easily if it is fully ripe, but sometimes थोड़ा सा दम लगाने से निकल आता है, isn't it? But compared to that, when you take cucumber, you take lauki, bottle gourd, or you take pumpkin, we are talking about these examples here. Urva arukameva. Iva is like pumpkin, like lauki. Urva arukameva bandhanan. They are also growing on the vine. Vine is the mother. They are the products, they are the fruit, they are the child of that vine. The vine is nourishing the fruit. While being attached to the vine, they have nourished themselves, they have matured themselves, they have ripened themselves. Exactly the same way. While living in the world, we ripen ourselves. We mature ourselves in wisdom. So where are scriptures? They are a part of this world creation. Where are teachers? They are part of this creation. Where are the sadhanas? They are part of this creation. So get your, where is this this yatra going? It is a part of this creation. So nourish yourself and ripen yourself. For that, correct angle of approach is required. See? So urva rukamiva bandhanat. Bandhanat is that the fruit, when it ripens, it doesn't leave the mother plant. Unlike apple, unlike orange, etc. Here, the mother plant leaves the fruit. Where the stalk comes and attaches itself to the pumpkin, that whole area, as the pumpkin ripes, this shrivels. And as that shrivels, the stalk which has gone in and it is attached to the fruit, it retracts. And the pumpkin remains undisturbed. And the mother plant leaves the fruit undisturbed. That is moksha. Same way. Every night you are having the experience of moksha, but you are not realizing it. When you go to sleep, when your mind becomes empty, you don't make it empty, the whole world goes out of your mind by itself. Only unfortunate thing is you go to sleep. You don't recognize the great opportunity of remaining awake at that moment. If you remain awake at that moment, when the sleep is about to come, keep practicing. Many days you will fall prey to that, but one day you will remain awake when the mind becomes quiet. When you are doing chanting now, if you did chanting with full gusto, when you stop, your mind is empty, isn't it? There's no thought going through. You want to think also, it doesn't stay there because the vibration is so high. You are one with yourself. You are fully ripened. So our scriptures give you the eye to recognize that the wisdom is your natural state. All the 12 qualities that Sanat Sujata ji told Dhritarashtra, that Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, identification, this, that, Mamata, Ahanta, etc., etc. They are the viruses which come and hijack you from your natural state. So don't give them value if you understand it. Then what has to be done? give value to the 12 qualities that we are going to talk in our next class. See? And oh, this is too much information. Then chant Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. That will also take you there. And it will give you the wisdom also. Because we are a questioning people, we want to ask questions. You don't have faith that this mantra is complete in itself. Om is complete in itself, and if I chant that mantra, it will give me the highest destination. If you have that trust, if you have that faith, it will happen. But because others are studying scriptures, you want to study scriptures. Because others are running after Mahatmas, you want to run after Mahatmas. And we must. We must go study the scriptures. If the question has come, we must go. See? But that is not the goal. That is only the means to realize the truth that you essentially are. Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyama mritaata. क्या था? उर्वारुकमिव बंधनात् मृत्योर. In this way, one transcends death. If you give value to the plant, you will remain in the cycle of birth and death. If you become matured within yourself, then that itself, when you have not done anything to remove the mother, to become detached. So another sadhana is, Swamiji, it's so difficult to become detached from my children, from my husband, from my wife, from my parents. It is natural. Yeah, you have been with them for so many decades together. Then what do? Don't do anything. Leave it. But you become even more attached to the mantra that you are chanting. Slowly, over some period of time, when your faith in the mantra increases, your love for the mantra increases, your abidance in the mantra increases, and its vibrations. Do you feel when you chant the Trayambakam Yajamahe, spine apne aap सीधी हो जाती है, spine में कुछ ना कुछ झन 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 चलता रहता है ना? That if you keep doing it every day with this inspiration, that vibration will take over your body. Every cell will start vibrating. Every cell will start vibrating. But that is the path of the Kundalini when that happens. But if you want those type of experience, so be it. If it doesn't want, just surrender to the mantra completely, be one with it. Automatically the world will drop away from your mind. Because the world is not out there. The world is only in your mind. In the waking world, just like in the dream, the whole world comes out of your mind, stays in your mind, and goes back to your mind. So is true in the waking also. The moment you wake up, you project the world. Then why the same world? You think it is the same world, but everything in the world has changed. Your body has also changed. But it is happening so slowly, you feel it's the same thing. So what is the truth? It is out of this mind alone that this waking world has come out. Out of this mind alone the dream world has come out, and it goes back, and it is this mind alone which remains empty in the deep sleep. Empty mind in the deep sleep is equal to self. But we go to sleep. This question came to me one day before I went to the ashram, before I gave you that experience yesterday. My question was, when I am in meditation, I'm watching my mind is quiet, but when I come out of meditation, whatever time, half an hour, 45 minutes, 20 minutes, every day it used to differ. When I come out, why can't I have the same peace, tranquility, abidance which I have in meditation? Why can't I have that same peace, tranquility when I'm moving in the world? This was my question that led me to go further. And it was burning, it was making me disturbed. I used to write self-analysis, where am I going wrong in my approach, why this is happening, but I couldn't find the answer. The answer is with Vedanta, where you go beyond manifestation and unmanifestation, where you go beyond joys and you go beyond sorrows. When you recognize you are beyond all the duality, mind means duality, and you are beyond duality, means you are beyond the mind. And that is the truth. Then manifestation is what? Waking and dream. Unmanifestation is what? Deep sleep. And you are beyond that. You are the witnessing consciousness. And that is Lord Shiva. That is Om. That is immortality. Urvarukamiva bandhanat mrityor mukshiya mahamritat. Mukshiya, that is liberation, and that liberation is immortality. Because you come to recognize that you are of the nature of immortality, body can come and go. Because from immortal, when you reach that point of witnessing consciousness, there is no hook in your mind towards the body or the world. Because the mind has completely become at one ment with the Supreme Principle. That is the witnessing consciousness. It's merged back. That is the meaning of Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. Once we will chant and conclude together. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritata. Yes, sit quietly for a moment. Commit yourself to that immortal principle that you are. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.